So good. A ton of flavor. Very, very tender. Wow. That's gonna compete for the top taco we've probably ever had.
You've seen us do a DIY taco tour in Mexico City before, but today we're going to attempt to go to the most reviewed restaurants in Mexico City.
We went to Google Maps and we looked up all of the most rated spots, which we're really excited about. That's everything from 17,000 reviews all the way up to nearly 50,000 reviews for taco spots.
If you haven't seen our last video, go check that out, and be sure to stay till the end to see what restaurant has over 50,000 reviews on Google. Our first stop of this journey is at Contramar, which is very highly rated. We may be setting ourselves up for failure for the rest of this taco tour because this one has 4.9 stars with 17,000 reviews, which is kind of insane. Admittedly, it's not really a taco spot, but they do have tacos on the menu. It is a seafood restaurant, and we've had it on our list to visit every single time we've come to Mexico City, so I'm glad we get to finally check it out.
We are here at 11 o'clock in the morning, which feels a little early for fish tacos, but this place requires a reservation pretty much all day, every day. We came yesterday, they told us to stop by in the morning. If somebody doesn't show up, there'll be a spot for you, so I'm pretty excited, honestly, to get to finally try this.
We ordered the Kingfish al pastor tacos, and admittedly, these are probably going to be the most expensive tacos we eat on this video, but with a restaurant that is highly rated and highly reviewed, so many magazines, it's easy to see why it's probably a little more expensive.
These were 380 pesos, which is about 20 US dollars or so. They look and smell absolutely fantastic. Gonna start with one just like fresh, right?
Yeah, just by itself?
Yeah. That's gonna compete for the top taco we've probably ever had. And as Rebecca mentioned, it's a tough way to start off this video.
So you do get 4 tiny tacos, but there's surprisingly a lot of fish on them.
The fish is really tender, and you can see even just running down my fingers all the like al pastor sauce.
Put a little lime on here. They gave us some verde salsa.
I'm usually like the first one to put some salsa on a taco, but this didn't really need anything, honestly, because they have a lot of flavor by themselves.
What is it about eating tacos that you always turn your head like this?
That's the way to do it.
Where does that come from?
Gotta go with the side. Try and keep all the juices in, I feel like. Definitely worth going off the traditional taqueria place to try some tacos somewhere else. I also feel like I take back my note about 11 a.m. being too early. A, it's never too early for tacos. And B, these are so light tasting that I feel like it's well timed for this morning.
We are at La Perla Tapatia Birrieria. That's not right. We'll put it at the bottom. But we're here to get birria tacos. This place has 4.5 stars and 17,000 reviews. We had to wait in line to get in. Definitely looks like all locals here. And we ordered the birria taco, which we know has had a recent popularity surge in the US, but we actually found birria here like 3 years ago and have loved it ever since, and it's existed for a long time. So super excited to try that. They also brought us out some consomme with it, and then we ordered the agua fresca, and I got the jaimica, which is like hibiscus. So super excited about this meal. It's very loud in here. There's a lot happening. This place is huge. We're gonna make the most of it.
This is a pretty big taco for only 50 pesos, honestly. And if you're not familiar with birria, it's essentially like a stewed meat made over a really long period of time. Actually, while we were waiting in line, we watched them bring this gigantic jug of it into the store. And we've been watching them home make these tortillas the entire time. Let's give it a try. As all birria is, very, very tender. A lot of juices as you bite into it as well. And just a lot of flavor on its own. I added some salsa to it. Obviously they have the consomme, but even by itself, it's very tasty. We are in a completely different side of town. We're on the north part. We've actually never been here in any of our time in Mexico City. Rebecca mentioned it's a lot more locals here. And I feel like we're really kind of immersed in such a good way. It's always great when you know you're dining at like a really local spot.
The bowl of consomme they give you is huge. That's all the juices that they've been stewing it in. So it's like a little soup on the side that you can pour over to make it even more juicy than it probably already is. That's delicious. Oh. The tortilla is just so good.
If you're not familiar with birria, it can be made out of a number of different things. Most common in the States right now is actually beef, but I know that they can also make it from goat, pork, a lot of different things. Judging by the logo of this place, I think this is a goat version. Not gonna let that faze me at all. Next stop is right nearby. We're here at Tacos El Papi. This place has 18,000 reviews, 4.5 stars, another local spot. It's the longest line we've waited in. And I guess I shouldn't really be surprised that the most reviewed taco places have a lot of lines. We got the arrachera taco, which is a flank steak, and it looks like they have potatoes, onions, and cactus on top too. It smells very delicious. They have a whole team of folks preparing things out there. Super hot too. Give it a try. Wow. The steak itself has a ton of flavor to it. And I bit it off and you kind of get that like, oh, I just bit a piece of steak. It's not gonna like rip off. I'm about to rip out the whole taco, and it so easily comes apart.
That's so good and tender. The tortillas are really good again. I also was expecting to be like chopped up steak, but it's like an entire piece. It's great. And the cactus has like a little bit of like a sour taste, so it kind of contrasts with the tortilla and everything. This is a 40 peso taco, which is like $2.50, and for the amount you get on here, that's pretty good.
Really sounding like a connoisseur these days. It's like we've eaten tacos a couple times. Tacos de Canaste Los Especiales is our second most reviewed stop, 22,000 reviews. These are called basket tacos. Looks delicious.
Dos, chicharrón en salsa verde y papa. Gracias. We got two different types of tacos. We got the chicharrón and salsa verde and the papa, which is potato. All right, first up is the papa. Literally, just potatoes in there. Best mashed potato taco I've ever had. And the only one. What's the other one? I will say these are definitely some greasy tacos. We didn't really explain what the basket tacos are. So they have these huge baskets with towels over a bunch of these little tacos, and you can just go up. They usually sell them on the street, but they have them up here where you can walk up and grab some to go, or you can eat them here. It doesn't look very appetizing, but man, is it delicious.
They had like 1,000 tacos in each one of those baskets, and it's kind of fun because you buy these little tokens first and then you just tone what you want, so it's super efficient. It's very much like a hole-in-the-wall spot. You just find a little bar space along the side to eat your food. This is the chicharrón. A ton of flavor for really a small taco without a lot in it. It's just meat with a little bit of salsa. And it's very, very good. These are 9 pesos each, which is about 60-75 cents in USD. So you could come in here and spend $5 and easily fill up for probably the whole day. It's also, as Rebecca mentioned, quite mincy. Uh-oh. Our last stop on this taco tour is the most reviewed taco shop here in Mexico City, Taqueria El Gran Abanico. This place has 46,000 reviews, and just to give you a little comparison, that is the same as Mount Rushmore, the iconic landmark in the United States. We just ordered our tacos, but as you can see, this place is quite the process. There's actually 2 separate lines, one for table service and one for to-go, and we figured the to-go would be a little bit faster, but they really have it down to the science. I think we waited about 20 minutes in line to get our food. It's easy to see how there are so many reviews on Google with the number of people in line, and also it's so busy, they actually have 2 locations right across the street from each other. We ordered 2 different tacos here. We got the tacos al pastor, which, you know, very familiar to us, but we also got the costilla de res, which is actually the rib taco. So I'm excited to try that because that's what we read most about this place. Let's start with the al pastor. When we were standing in line, we could smell this and watch them slice it off the spigot, rotating around, and it smelled so good. So I'm really excited about this one. Great flavor with that fresh pineapple. Divine. Al pastor is my all-time favorite, as you already know, so I can give this a try. so good. As Rebecca said, the pineapple is just killer. And they do not skimp on the portion. This place is very affordable. I think it was about $4 for both of these tacos. And we only ordered one of these. There's 2 tacos in here. They put a lot in there. So we were actually able to watch them prepare the ribs. You could tell they've been stewing all day. They slice it and the bone comes right out, super clean. We were watching that from the side, and then it's all diced up in here for us. Looks absolutely delicious. Same as the al pastor. There's like a ½ pound of meat in here. Hit that with the avocado salsa, which brings the right freshness to it. Oh, very good. Meat is super tender. A little bit of kick to it, maybe from the salsa, maybe from the meat. But the rib is kind of the unique part to this, and it's very good.
It doesn't have like a ton of spices or like flavor from that, but the meat on its own is just so good. Another thing with this taco that we got some papa, so some potatoes right here. And then we also got some nopales, I think, is some pieces of cactus. I bet we're supposed to put that on the taco, so we're gonna do that and try that as well.
This was a delicious closeout. I think we're gonna need the full day to evaluate the winner of this made-up competition and our favorite of the most reviewed tacos here in Mexico City. Whew, what an adventure. That was a lot of tacos, and I'm certainly feeling it, but it was delicious.
I feel like we went all over Mexico City. It was a really fun adventure. I'm really glad we did this. What was your favorite?
I'd say my favorite, it's definitely tough because they were all really good, but favorite was probably the fish tacos at Contramar, which I feel like is kind of a little bit of a cheat because that was the fancy, expensive place. And I don't know, not traditional, but they were so, so good. Aside from that, if I can add like a second little favorite, I'm gonna say the al pastor at Abanico.
Yeah, I think that was probably some of the best pastor I've had. It was really good.
What about you?
My favorite was tacos el Papi, even though I felt so out of place there, like probably the only tourist they had that day. But that taco was so delicious. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Just that tender steak, it was so good. And it was so affordable too compared to other places we've been.
Yeah, the arrachera was a win. That's probably one of the ones that, honestly, if we were to go back next time in Mexico, would try to make it happen over there, despite it being a little further out of the way. Loved having the opportunity to check out the most reviewed taco shops here in Mexico City, and can't wait for the next time we come back.
Obviously, we know there's much more to explore than just tacos here. It seems like we keep coming back for tacos, but I can't wait to see what else we find next time we visit.
If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe if you want to see more content from our next adventure here in Mexico City.
It involves churros.